The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission announced Thursday its penalties against Goldman Sachs. Some of that is in the form of money and some in business reform. Here's more.
Goldman Sachs will pay $550 million and reform its business practices in order to settle its SEC charges. The fine is also the largest penalty ever assessed against a financial services firm in the history of the SEC. On April 16th, the SEC charged Goldman Sachs for defrauding investors over subprime mortgage securities. These securities are often blamed for contributing to the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. In agreeing to the SEC's penalty, Goldman acknowledges that its marketing materials for the subprime products contains incomplete information. Robert Khuzami, director of the SEC Enforcement Division, comments on the charge, saying that this settlement is a stark lesson to Wall Street firms that no product is too complex and no investor is too sophisticated to avoid a heavy price if a firm violates the fundamental principles of honest treatment and fair dealing. The SEC says that of the $550 million paid, $250 million will be returned to harmed investors through the Fair Fund distribution. $300 million will go to the U.S. Treasury. The landmark settlement also requires remedial action by Goldman in its review and approval of certain mortgage security offerings. It will also consider the role and responsibilities of internal legal counsel, compliance personnel, and outside counsel in the review of written marketing materials. Besides, it also requires the additional education and training of Goldman employees in this area of the firm's business. The settlement came on the same day that the U.S. Senate passed the most sweeping restrictions on banks and Wall Street since the Great Depression. Goldman earned $3.3 billion in the first quarter this year. Its revenue last year reached $13.4 billion.